championship match. She's been second the last 2 years, shooting scores of only 173 and 170. So I think she'll have to step it up a level tonight.
Oh,
10 pin to start, but a good shot. Take some time and be careful on the spare to start the match. Leanne Barrette, actually successful in Ebonite events. She won the Lady Ebonite event in 1991 in Columbia, Tennessee, and then in '89 in Atlanta, Georgia. This event has traveled across the country and now alternates between Lexington and Louisville, Kentucky. Cara Honeychurch, looking for back-to-back titles. She had the opportunity once before. Marianne, it was last year in North Myrtle Beach after winning the Brunswick Women's World Open. She had a chance to win again.
Right, this is her 8th show out of 11 weeks, and last year she made a total of 9 shows. So it just goes to show you how well she is bowling.
Big opening shot. Some of the other finishers this week, Lisa Wagner finished up in 17th with those 32 career titles. Amy Dillon, her second top 24, and there's Kathy Dorn, Lizzie, and Brenda Norman. You saw them on last week's show.
Kelly Kulik and Diana Caracas both graduated from Morehead State.
Several college graduates out on tour that actually bowled in college. This week we had 15 ladies that came through the college ranks in bowling that bowled this event. And
there was a lot of representatives from Morehead State because it is close. So they had a good following here, Diana and Kelly.
And just like the right side, the left side leaving some 7 pins.
It looks like Cara's using the TPS-3. It's a weak particle ball as well. And she said that she used it most of the week. It's a great shot. She said that she's never gotten farther left than 8. And as you can see, her laydown point was probably about 13, 14, getting the ball down to 8. Picking up her plastic ball across the alley, shooting a 7 pin.
So these 2 ladies, as I mentioned, 2 of the ladies on the Ebonite staff that Dell talked about, obviously very successful. Cara having a wonderful year, actually a Bowler of the Year type year. So maybe it is not a factor having Carolyn being the spouse, that obviously he's able to dedicate enough time to these ladies, as well as Kim Torella, Lita Sill, Michelle Feldman, and Laura Lee Daniel, the other staff members.
Well, I think they said all in the interview. It's not just because Dale's out here, even though a contributing factor. Ebonite has a complete line of bowling equipment that complement each other. So if you know the steps that the bowling equipment falls into, it makes your decisions a lot quicker and a lot faster.
That's a hard thing to learn, the equipment, from all the companies, or any company, Marianne, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a pro and a con. It's good to be a part of the staff because you're isolated, but yeah, it can be a con because you're like a kid in a candy store. You see new bowling balls come out, you want to try it, you want to see what it does in comparison to what you're already throwing.
Leanne coming up high on that shot, leaving the 3-6.
This lane has been hooking a little bit more than the right lane. As you can see, cut a little bit short. She is a lot deeper than she has been the prior matches. She's just trying to find a little bit of push down the lane, and unfortunately there's not a whole lot. With offense oil, the front part of the lane seems to dissipate very quickly.
She covers up the spare, and we talk about Cara's success this year. She knows nothing about a sophomore jinx. She was the 2000 Rookie of the Year, and her award was presented earlier today by John Felzone, the president of the PWBA. And by far the strongest performance by any rookie in their sophomore year to date.
It's going to be very hard to beat that Rookie of the Year statistic.
Cara now up in the 3rd frame. Once again, no one this match will shoot that 300, so Travelodge's $50,000 bonus will carry over to next week.
On her off time, she made some game changes. She's trying to stay more behind the ball, more up the back of the ball, to take the front part of the lane out of play, and that's been helping her on the sport condition. She can play parts of the lane that other left-handers have a problem playing week in and week out.
She wanted to thank Kegel Training Center for all their work with her. That's where she does her training, and obviously very pleased with the results. She's finished first twice so far this year. She leads now by 10 pins, working on a strike. She's in the 4th frame. Big double. And there have been a lot of past champions to this event. Several of them on this show. You can see Leanne Barrette won twice before, as I mentioned. Carolyn Doran-Ballard, Tish Johnson. Marianne, you're on there, 1993.
That was fun. Long time ago, but a lot of fun.
So as I said, this event has traveled across the country and now settled into a home in Kentucky between Louisville and Lexington. Leanne Barrette going up high, almost getting a break, but 3-6 again.
Leanne's almost sliding in the left-hand gutter. It's very difficult to get the ball down the lane when you have no oil. It's all friction in the front part of the lane. If Leanne Barrette's having a hard time getting the ball down the lane, it just goes to show you how difficult it is because of the lack of oil. Leanne's game has a tendency of making the ball get down the lane very easy. She is using a new Ebonite ball that is out. It's called the Savage. It's kind of like a replica of the Turbo X, which actually gets down the lane. Simple.
And still having problems. So on the right lane, Marianne, how much does the ball return come into play for the ladies when you get that deep?
Well, when you're starting off the tournament and you're standing 33, 34, 35, 36, it does have an important factor with that. There are some girls that can stand in front of it, and there are some girls that walk around it.
Trips out the 4-pin, but Cara Honeychurch has the lead. Don't you go anywhere. The final shots for the titles are still to come. Disaster struck for both players. Cara Honeychurch, a 3-6-5-9-10. The bucket plus the 10-pin. She missed that spare, and then a 4-6-10. Big split. Leanne stepped up and washed out. So Leanne Barrette now in the lead in the 7th frame by 8 pins. Both players working on an open frame, and another break for Leanne Barrette.
Another big break. That's what it takes when you're talking one-game matches. Leanne keeps moving left, but she's having a problem getting the ball down the lane. It's just checking up real high. There's not a whole lot of oil. There's not a whole lot of carry down. Went through the face, and the 6-pin went right into the 10-pin.
Her TV average for Cara, 215. And a good shot now, leaving a 7-pin. Now the left side not playing as deep as the right side because they don't have as much play. But tonight I thought I might see them a little more equal.
Well, I think it's unusual because there were a bunch of left-handers on the show, and there are right-handers. But as you can see, most of the right-handers came out with a surface to start off with, and then they went to shine. Generally, all week, the right-handers were deeper than the left-handers.
Cara converts to spare. We talked about how Cara actually out-averaged Carolyn by 10 pins this week, but overall, Carolyn Doran-Ballard in the lead for the year with a 216 average by 3 pins over Cara Honeychurch. Liz Johnson, Wendy McPherson, Kim Adler rounding out the top 5, and again, those averages on the sport bowling patterns.
Extremely high averages for the condition that is laid down there every week.
Cara Honeychurch now trailing by 18 pins. Marianne, Cara talked to us also about her conditioning over the break and how much she thinks that has helped her in this long swing.
She feels like it's helped her in the duration of the swing. Because we've been out here for 11 weeks and we're going to add one more week onto that, the fitness perspective has helped her in the longevity of it.
Career titles. Lisa Wagner, 32. Leanne Barrette, 21, 5th on the list. Tish Johnson was trying to get up to that 25 marker that Patty Costello has. All these ladies active except for Patty Costello, so those numbers could still change. And again.
Triple the 6-pin. Leanne sliding in the left-hand gutter, trying to get the ball down the lane. Her ball speed has increased, but about 45 to 50 feet down the lane, the ball wants to go left real quick.
And you wonder, obviously I can see that, I just don't know if her hip is bothering her at all because she said she wasn't getting push on that on her second step.
Well, Jan, the problem all week is You had to go pretty direct. She cannot free hook it to the right because there is oil there. And if she hits the oil, what's going to happen is it's very easy to go 3 count or throw a better ball.
Well, that was a beauty, and she sure took advantage of a couple of big breaks. Cara Honeychurch looking over to, okay, what's the score right now? And the score is that Leanne Barrette is in the lead by 18 pins. Best Cara Honeychurch could shoot would be 208 at this point. 226 max score for Leanne Barrette. Big shot, mud drag here.
Correct. One of the things that Cara worked on all week was varying her ball speed.
And that 7-pin does not want to go down even from a little bit different angle of entry.
From the 5th frame where she went bucket, the last 2 frames on lane 18, she slowed her ball speed down just a tad bit to get the ball to read a little bit earlier. And unfortunately, she got a bad break. Left a 7-pin.
Well, that was huge because now the best Cara Honeychurch could shoot would be 188. Meanwhile, Leanne Barrette could still strike out in the 10th for 226. Leanne is really just going to need some pins on that shot.
Stay behind the foul line.
And she had to strike out to force Leanne Barrette to really post an appearance in the 10th frame. So Cara can spare up and strike for a 177 game. And the situation is a little reversed for Leanne this year. It's her opponent shooting the 170 score.
Cara was fantastic all week. She made the condition look very simple.
Cara told us she never thought that she'd get close to 8 shows in this swing in her wildest dreams. So she's having some pretty bad dreams right now. It is Leanne Barrette who captures her first title this year at the Lady Ebonite Kentucky Classic. Stay with us. We'll be back to talk with her. Being brought to you by the Women's International Women's Bowling Association. And how does a champion react right after winning?